What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at it again with another video. And yep, still at my grandmother's crib. No power still. Just trying to, make the best of the situation. Appreciate everyone that's been checking on me and Dub. We still both don't have power, but I believe Dub's mom has some power, so he's been over there as well. So, hey, all we can do is try to make the best of the situation, man, that's been presented to us. But I wanted to make this video, this particular video, since we found out that John Cena was retiring. He's going to have his retiring tour for 2025. And initially I had it lined up to actually record the video, but that's when a hurricane came in and said, nah, put that shit to the side. I'm about to wreak havoc in Houston. So that's what happened. But I wanted to at least get this out to y'all and give my opinions on it after a few days of everyone talking about who should be John Cena's last, not last match, but last opponent at WrestleMania. For those who don't know, John Cena plans on doing several PLEs throughout 2025 next year. So he said he's going to do his last Royal Rumble, his last Elimination Chamber, and his last time wrestling at WrestleMania. So the real question that everyone's been trying to figure out is who's going to be John Cena's last opponent at WrestleMania for next year. And a lot of people have been saying one person in particular, the Viper himself, Randy Orton. And to be honest with you, I think that is a WrestleMania worthy match. I know Randy has spoken about it, having one more match with him, and I don't think anybody would have a problem. I think out of all the people that he could have a match with and all the people that he's had some of the best feuds with, it would be Randy Orton. Some people say maybe John Cena. You could do something like, I say John Cena versus John Cena. Might as well, fuck it. Some people are saying CM Punk. But I feel like if you're going to have a match with CM Punk versus John Cena, I think that should be, maybe at a Money in the Bank next year. Who knows? I think that would kind of be poetic. But I think they should have that later down the line next year, in my opinion. Even though CM Punk was one of his greater, feuds he had later on in his career. When you think about some of John Cena's best feuds, you think of Edge, and you definitely think of Randy Orton. And me personally, I just think that it makes sense. It makes sense. It doesn't even have to be for the title. It's just, this is his last match at WrestleMania. And I think people would just be tuned in to watch some of their favorites go at it one more time. I mean, obviously, if Edge was still in WWE, I think that would have been something cool. But most people think of John Cena's greatest feud is with Randy Orton. Their back and forth is legendary. I mean, for Christ's sake, Randy Orton kicked John Cena's dad in the head, bro. And then John Cena's dad got revenge and kicked Randy Orton in the head. It's just classic, bro. Just classic matches, classic feuds, classic back and forth with these guys. So I think a lot of people were initially thinking, okay, let's go with Randy Orton to be John Cena's last WrestleMania opponent, which I think most people would be okay with. But I've been thinking about this all day because this video has been on my mind, and I wanted to kind of have my thoughts together about this. I think what would be I do think that match will happen. Even if it doesn't happen at WrestleMania next year, cool. I think they will have Randy Orton versus John Cena one more time for 2025. Whatever pay-per-view, PLE, cool. But say that match doesn't happen at WrestleMania. And that's really one of the bigger matches you could do. What if, and I know, just wait and hear me out before boys start typing in the keyboard. What if we do John Cena versus Gunther? Now, hear me out. He already said he's going to have, one more Royal Rumble appearance. It only makes sense if John Cena's in the Royal Rumble. Like, it doesn't make sense for him to be at that PLE and not in the Royal Rumble. And the story that they can be telling is, can John capture the 17th world title? They started talking about it, too, when he announced his retirement at Money in the Bank. But that's the story they can tell. Does John have enough left in the tank to win that 17th World Championship? And you can build off that. You don't even have to have him win the Royal Rumble. You can have him be one of the last few and still get eliminated. And maybe set up something where he wins the Elimination Chamber. The reason why I say Gunther would make sense, because when he's obviously, this would be his first time ever facing this guy. And Gunther is the next big bad in WWE that they're going to obviously push leading in from SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania. Cool. And it makes sense. John Cena, the ultimate American. Everybody loves John Cena. The hood loves John Cena. You have John Cena going against the foreigner and Gunther that nobody can stop. No one has a true answer for. And just the promo builds alone, if he wins the Royal Rumble, you can set it up there where he chooses Gunther. Or if he wins the Elimination Chamber, he, obviously, depending on who wins the Royal Rumble, then they, you can kind of interchange it, and he has his date with Gunther at WrestleMania automatically. You can build up the story of Gunther saying, John, you don't have it anymore. You carried this business for so long, but you don't have it anymore. You're not the guy anymore. I am the guy. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to cut your retirement tour short. And I'm going to have pleasure in doing that. You can build that up. The promo battles alone are going to be cinema. It's going to be fantastic. And the reason why I say this, because I do think we've gotten to that point with John Cena. If you really look at it, the past few years, he's put over talent. The guy hadn't really won anything in a ring in a while. That was even one of the things he was talking about leading into his feud with Solo Sikoa. And Solo packed him up. He lost to Austin Theory at that year's WrestleMania in a match that wasn't really that. It was okay at best. So they could play up the fact that maybe John just doesn't have what it takes to win that last championship. And I think that would be a great story to tell. And honestly, I know some of y'all are going to be typing. Some of y'all are going to be irate at the thought of me thinking John Cena could possibly or maybe should beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know, I get it, I understand. But I think this run is a run that they're most likely going to give him the World Heavyweight Championship. It's just one more run with it. I don't think most people are going to trip. I just don't see too many people tripping. There will be some, but it's John Cena. This is a lot of people's childhood, and they're about to finally see him exit. And a lot of people have wanted to see him break the record and get that 17th World Championship. And if there's anybody to beat Gunther, anybody, is John fucking Cena. There's only a few people on the roster that make sense that you could be like, I'm okay with that. John Cena should be one of them. But the story they got to tell is John trying to find that rhythm with these younger guys and actually not burying them, but in a sense trying to get the old John back to potentially, show Gunther and the rest of the world that he can still go for one more. He can go for one more, championship run. And I think that may be the story to tell. Because the reason why I say at least at WrestleMania, because even if he doesn't have the match with Gunther for the title, I just don't see John Cena losing at his last WrestleMania. I think he's put over enough people. I think it's okay for him to go out on a win, in my opinion. If it was his very last match, even then I still wouldn't have a problem with him going out on a win, because he's done a lot of jobs to get other people over the past few years. So I think that's okay with him going out on a win. But in this particular situation, they do go with Gunther. It makes that much more sense for him to win it at next year's WrestleMania. And then the remainder of the year, he's defending the title. Maybe he has some World Heavyweight Championship open challenge matches. You can do something like that. And, maybe build up some new, younger talent. Either way, I do feel like the remainder of that year, you can just have John Cena, defending the championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. Hell, yeah, you can have that Randy Orton versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship match at a later PLE next year. Like I just think that would be just something cool to see one more time. Him being a champion, winning it at WrestleMania, and then defending it until ultimately retires and probably loses in his last match or whatever the case may be to somebody else. Maybe even loses it back to Gunther or somebody new or, whoever. You never know. Um, that I'm just kind of spitballing some ideas. We don't know which direction they go in. But me personally, if it's not Randy Orton to face him at WrestleMania next year, I'm okay with Gunther. I am. And I'm okay with him winning. So I know I'm probably gonna get some type of backlash, but just indulge in the idea. I think that would be cool. I mean, yeah, you can have him win the World Heavyweight Championship at a later date, but I think it would just be more special if he did win it at a Royal Rumble. I mean, at next year's WrestleMania against obviously the next big bad in the company, Gunther. So, y'all comment down below. Let me know, who do y'all feel like John Cena's last opponent at next year's WrestleMania should be, and would you guys be okay with him going against Gunther and actually winning the World Heavyweight Championship from him? And this is just me speculating that Gunther's going to be champion until then, but I just don't see them not putting the title on him this year and having him hold it all the way to WrestleMania next year. So that just really depends on if they do that. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. Who would y'all have face John Cena in his very last match at WrestleMania next year? But I appreciate all the love and support y'all have shown on the channel. Thank y'all so much with the patience y'all been having. Normally I drop 2 videos a day, but because my setup is very limited, I'm literally recording this off my iPhone, so I can only do really so much, to be honest with you. But once the lights come back on and everything gets situated, the uploads will be crazy on my page, on the In the Clutch page, even on the car page. Like, we're gonna be running it up to catch up to bring y'all as much content as possible. But appreciate all the love and support. Rose 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking with me. See y'all next one. Peace.